Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And by request, we had several people asking us why we're not talking about Star Wars. Because there's not a lot to talk about with Star Wars.
Right. Plus, it's like,
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Well, apparently Disney gives a poop. They give a poop about Star Wars. We're going to talk about an internet rumor. And then we're going to talk about how that internet rumor is getting picked up by some other media outlets.
That's what I find interesting.
And then we're going to talk about a coordinated campaign to discredit those internet rumors. We've seen this before. Mm-hmm. We saw it with the rise of Skywalker. And, it's just there's so much damage control being done right now at Lucasfilm with Star Wars. And it does seem like Star Wars is in a state of flux right now. You can maybe take that L out of that. Who knows? So we're going to get into it. Before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We appreciate your subs. Helps the channel get found. Helps us create more content. If nobody's watching our videos, you're not going to make videos. I mean, that's just how it works.
Yep.
That's how it works. So, yeah, let's talk about this rumor. We have not talked about it much at all. And the rumor actually came from Doomcock originally. Okay, the rumor is he has heard from Lucasfilm that, or someone
his
sources at Lucasfilm, that there is a kill switch on the Star Wars sequel trilogy, that they could possibly be looking to use a loophole that was introduced in, I think it was Rebels or Clone Wars.
It was Rebels.
It was Rebels.
Because it was recent, I think, that this appeared.
Okay, so that they could.
Could be wrong, but.
So they've got this loophole in there with this veil that they can basically time travel in Star Wars and undo the sequel trilogy. Kind of
like different dimensions, like they're alternate timeline, alternate dimensions, which
so
goes along with what that Headland was saying when they said it was like an alternate time. That kind of goes along with what she was saying too.
Oh god, that's gonna get confusing. So now we're getting into like the MCU with multiple timelines. Or DC now, because they've done that with Crisis on Infinite Earths on the CW, and we're also getting into Superman territory, where Superman Returns basically ignored 3 and 4.
And at that point, it honestly just gets super flipping confusing if it wasn't already.
Yeah, it's already confusing. Star Wars is already confusing, but the rumor is that they might push this button and basically wipe out Kathleen Kennedy's sequel trilogy, because it has not been that well received. It's not going to stand the test of time, and maybe go back and revisit George Lucas's idea. But we got some problems. One, I don't think you're going to get Harrison Ford or Mark Hamill back again. I think they've checked out. And Carrie Fisher is no longer with us.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, for me personally, I would be like, let's just fast forward 100 years past the end of the sequel trilogy and just kind of pretend it didn't happen, and just kind of go from there. Like, here's where the Jedi are now. You know, we don't really need to talk too much about Rey, because even people pointed out that in the sequel trilogy they never once mentioned Anakin Skywalker by name.
Oh yeah, I saw people said that, and they wondered if they were doing it just like to try to gloss over him because Rey's the chosen one. Right.
They never mentioned Anakin. They mentioned Darth Vader a couple of times, but they never mentioned Anakin Skywalker, and the Skywalker saga was technically supposed to be about
he was
Anakin
one of the voices, though, wasn't he, in the,
Yeah, but they never mentioned his name.
Oh.
Yeah,
I still haven't watched Rise of Skywalker, so...
No, we still haven't. Believe it or not, we haven't watched Rise of Skywalker.
Only Star Wars movie I've never seen.
So that's kind of what's going on. That rumor's been put out there. He did a couple of videos. Now, of course, we've got, people picking it up. We've got MovieWeb picks it up.
See, this is what surprised me, because if they were trying... If you'd think that they wouldn't want to give it any legs. You know what I mean? If it wasn't true, why bring it up? There's
not much news out there right now, so a lot of these websites are scraping, whatever they can get. But I'm gonna bring this up too. Ichibaka brings it up. We've talked about it before. Well, now we've got detractors too. Lucasfilm won't do this. Lucasfilm will do this. Whatever, doesn't matter. Click on our ads on our website, right? Doomcock's been right before. Right up to the very end. And it's not just Doomcock, but Gary at Nerdrotic was 100% right about Doctor Who.
Yep.
That they were going to retcon Doctor Who to start out as a girl, which sounded absolutely ridiculous when I heard it. I'm like, what the hell? They would never do that. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. He was 100% right. Doomcock was right on the money with the Rise of Skywalker leaks. He was 100% accurate. And right up until like the week before the movie came out, Lucasfilm was in damage control mode saying that these leaks were not true.
And then they turned out to be true. And it was like, how dumb do you look? You're better to just say nothing, honestly.
Yeah, so do I believe that this is a possibility? Yes, I do. I think it's a possibility. Is it going to happen? Who knows?
We don't know.
I think
it's a rumor right now.
Yeah, it's a rumor. I think that, it's definitely a button they can press if they have to. And audiences now are a lot more open to reboots and sort of side shoots, I guess, of different, like I said, Superman Returns was pretty well received. It just stepped over 3 and 4. We pretended it never happened. We went from there.
And the interesting thing about rumors is that just because it's a rumor now doesn't mean that's something that's going to happen too, because we've seen it before where there was a rumor and it was completely what they were going to do. And then when they realized people didn't like it, they hurried up and changed direction. And then like, oh, that never happened. You're wrong.
Yeah. Sometimes companies will float ideas out there and try to gauge interest. If Disney right now is desperate to course correct Star Wars.
They are.
Yeah, and right now they're milking Baby Yoda because they know that The Mandalorian is popular.
That's going to be their cash cow for a while.
Right. So what's going to happen is, this is floating around out there. If people are receptive to it, even if they weren't planning it before, they might look into it and be like, gosh, you mean we can just pretend the sequels never happened? But there's some interesting things going on here that, again, I want to bring up Ichibaka, and we've mentioned this before too, that, for all the talk of Disney doubling down on the sequel trilogy, they sure as hell are not using it in their marketing.
Yeah, they keep going to the classics.
Yes. And, Star Wars Land, Galaxy's Edge was kind of a dud for a lot of people because it was all based on the sequel trilogy. It didn't have the classic characters. There's no Darth Vader walking around. I mean, who the hell goes to Star Wars Land?
It really feels like a Moroccan flea market.
It does. It doesn't feel like Star Wars. It feels like off-brand
It just feels
sci-fi.
like a desert planet, because they seem to be pushing desert planets a lot, and it seems like every other generic Star Wars desert planet is what it feels like.
Plus, it's really hot in Florida and California, so they can get away with the desert planet.
I know. I would have liked to see something more like, Endor or like Hoth or something like that, you know. But no. It's just a generic desert planet number whatever.
Yeah, we've got, what, like 5? How many we got in just the movies? We've got Tatooine, Geonosis, and let's see, what else was it? Jakku. There's 3 just in the movies.
So I'm like, of course they are. They're going to go with that. And it does. It just feels like a generic experience that looks like Star Wars-esque is how it feels. And the Falcon's parked there. Yeah.
So, yeah, even the Falcon, though, you're not getting Han Solo.
No.
But, yeah, even on their credit cards, he points this out. This is the new offer that, we got Vader, we got the Falcon, we got Chewie. There's no Kylo Ren.
I do have the one in the middle.
Oh, yeah, you do. But then
that's mine.
But the shiny stuff comes off of it.
It does. I'll tell you what. I will have one complaint about Disney, the Disney Visa card, because I have it. I only had it for a few months, and then it started to peel off. They aren't exactly made the best. I'm just pointing that out. Anyway,
but
I digress.
Yeah, but we're seeing this in the parks, in the theme parks. We noticed this even last year after they opened Galaxy's Edge. It seemed like they were doubling, tripling down on classics. Same with the action figure. You look at what Hasbro's producing. The stuff that's selling the most are the retro figures. The Black Series figures based on original trilogy characters.
Yeah, and I know, like, from my side, which is like the fashion and like the girly stuff, the purses and stuff that have been coming out have been based on Empire Strikes Back or the Death Stars. Both Loungefly and Harvey's did Death Star bags, and they seem to be sticking to. Oh, even when they have other ones coming, that it's like a Chewbacca. They'll have Ewoks. It seems to be more classic based and not the new stuff. I'm sorry if you don't like to hear that, but that's the way they're going.
Yeah, and I think Disney knows they screwed up, at least in terms of merchandising, because they were hoping they were going to create characters that were going to stand the test of time, like Han, Luke, Leia, Chewie, Lando, R2, 3PO.
They got a couple with Mandalorian and Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
But they're going to kill Baby Yoda because they're going to milk it so hard. People are going to get so sick to death of effing Baby Yoda. And they're going to ruin it.
He's going to be so sore. He's not going to be able to walk over to the table and get his chicky nuggies.
That's right. God, I hate that. Would you please stop with the damn chicky nuggie memes? I'm like, really? There's nothing in the show that he says, give me chicky nuggies.
Oh my God, if they do that to appease the Karens next season,
God,
that's his first word.
Something's getting punched.
Chicky nuggies. That's his name, Chicky Nuggy.
I can't stand it. They're not Chicky Nuggy. They do other stuff like
Chalky Milk.
Chalky Milk or Betty Bye or Betty Time or something. It's like, oh, I'm going to barf.
Hash pipe.
And then I'm going to kick you.
Hash pipe.
They don't say hash pipe.
He's 50. He can smoke if he wants to. So, yeah, we're seeing this. I think, do I think this is going to happen? I don't know. I mean, it seems kind of crazy to be like...
But you know what? Because where it's coming from, I mean, it could have been that they was told this to throw them off, but it makes sense. With some other things we were hearing, I could see them being desperate enough to try this.
I mean, could they potentially, they could totally step over it. They could bring George Lucas back, step over it, and be like, okay, we're going to fast forward another couple of years. Luke Skywalker's still alive. We're just going to do a spin-off Star Wars movie with, somebody finding old Luke and learning the ways of the Jedi and just pretend that those movies never happened.
I mean, and they said that he's been seen on the Mandalorian set several times. So,
so there's definitely something going on, but they're not betting on the sequel trilogy. I mean, of all the Star Wars they've done, I think the sequel trilogy has been I personally think has been the biggest disaster, because I believe it or not, I enjoyed Solo more than the sequel trilogy. We both enjoyed Rogue One.
I enjoy having teeth pulled. I enjoy having teeth pulled more than I did the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, I can't even go back. I liked The Force Awakens when it first came out. I can't go back and watch it now because I know where these characters go. They go nowhere. They go nowhere.
I mean, even from the first one, Force Awakens, I mean, it was kind of fun for the first half hour. And then I was like, I've already seen this. And then but I understood. I totally got why they did it. They were trying to get the fans back. They're trying to get them excited about the Star Wars again, be nostalgic. Okay, I get why you did it. Hated it, but I get why. And then I'm like, okay, fine. Last Jedi, we're going to get new stuff. We're going to get new. And we got new, but it was so new that it was like completely disregarding everything that came before it. And there's a middle ground here, people. There is a way to make it work, but you seem to go too far, your rock landed too close or too far.
Or you could have just filmed the Zahn trilogy, and I get that the trio is older than they were in the Zahn trilogy. Just make a couple of tweaks to it and have it take place, several years
after. They couldn't. They already said that was all non-canon because Disney owns it.
But we're going to go back and bring Thrawn back. We're going to supposedly bring Mara Jade back. So they're cherry picking from the expanded universe that they threw out like a used Kleenex.
Right. So if you bring Mara Jade back, you need to hire a redhead for that part.
Yeah. So
especially with your new mandates, you only can play yourself. So
yeah, you can only play yourself.
Redhead's a lifestyle, people.
So want to wrap up with this. J.W. Rinzler, who we talked about before, he worked for Lucasfilm for many, many years. He was the guy who wrote a lot of the making of books, and he got gone a couple of years ago. And he tried to tell people what was going on behind the scenes at Lucasfilm. And he has a non-disparagement clause, apparently, with Disney. He's not allowed to talk about it, but there have been comments. He did a live stream a couple of days ago. I watched it. It was pretty good, but he couldn't. I was hoping for dirt, and he couldn't give any dirt. He basically talked about his experiences working at Lucasfilm and reiterated that Lucasfilm pre-Disney was a very, very different place. If you read some of the comments, and again, a hat tip to Ichibaka, if you read some of the comments, you'll see that he is dying to be able to come out and say what really went down. He's not happy with Kathleen Kennedy. I guess he said it was a very interesting experience working with her, but again, non-disparagement clause with Disney. He even said in the live stream it would cost him a minimum of probably $20,000 to $30,000 just to initiate action against Disney. And Disney being Disney, what they usually do is they will run the person out of money.
Yep.
They'll stall them out in court, and they'll basically, because they don't have it this year, but they used to have essentially infinite money, and they will just run you out of money until you can't fight them anymore, and you just have to throw your hands up and walk away.
Right.
But watch this guy, because I think within the next couple of years he's gonna spill the tea.
I hope so.
He is. He's gonna drink those tears like Baby Yoda drinking that broth.
Okay, that's really weird, but okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think you need to wrap this up.
I think we need to wrap it up.
You're really starting to weird me out.
It's hot in here.
Yeah, no kidding. It's really hot in here. Can you wrap this up,
I need
please?
some chalky milk.
Oh, you need a punch to the face.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.